Oh, साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। Sai Ram, wish you all a wonderful, wonderful Friday evening. Weekends ahead, but our satsangs start every Friday. So the beginning of our week starts at the 7:30 slot for us with the satsang. Thanks to Haryana, it's been going on continuously for literally 2 over months now. And we are very, very honored to have Dr. Ashok Anand with us today. And he's going to have his batchmate doing the honors of introducing him. Sairam. Brother Hirok and Brother Hari, over to you.
Yep. Hari, you have to speak. Okay, I'll just tell a few words. Yeah. I actually Ashok Anand was born into a family which came into the Sai fold very early. In fact, his father was the chief engineer for the Anantapur College building, right? And then he was very closely working with Swami during the building up of that Anantapur College. In fact, in fact, when I think Ashok, you may correct me, but the building in which Ashok and his family, stay in Hyderabad, actually was inaugurated by Swami. After it was built, and before these people moved into those flats, Ashok Anand and his family moved into the flat. Swami came and inaugurated that building. So he's been having experiences from a very young age of Swami. Of course, after that he came and joined the Puttaparthi College, and he was amongst the first batch of students that came and joined the Puttaparthi College. That time, of course, they were in that in Mandir. The hostel started from Mandir, and Ashok took a lot of initiatives in doing some of the things which subsequent batches of students did in the hostel. Like, take for example, managing the kitchen, doing some kitchen work. All those things were done by Ashok, and he's got tons and tons of experience of Swami. So it is a great thing to be listening to Ashok. And also there has been a lot of experiences which he has got in his interaction or in his connect with Swami. So we are looking forward to your talk, Ashok. Haryana, please.
Sairam Hira, thank you for starting this. Few words from you really means a lot, actually, because we all keep you in high regard. So thanks a lot for being with us today. And regarding Ashok, already Brother Hira introduced very well. But as a batchmate, because we all stayed in same room in old hostel where we were 60 people, and each one of us had exactly only that much what body can hold that space. And we very closely associated, and Ashok Anand, a boy, always, as his name suggests, he is full of Anand, always happy. Anyways, oriented mind, absolutely no personality, complex, and the service too. And of course, so much internally attached to Swami. Swami has blessed him lots. So we are happy to have him amidst us today. Brother Ashok, we are very happy to have you. Thanks a lot for coming this Friday and going to share all the wonderful experience. Sairam, Sairam. It's so nice of you. Thank you.
Sairam, Sairam Hari. Sairam.
Sairam.
It's Sairam, and thank you so much for the introduction by Hirok as well as Hari. I call him Hari because once if I call Hari, then I'm actually losing out on calling one more time Hari's name. So now I've lately realized that I shouldn't call him as Hari only, I call him as Hari. So whenever I'm addressing it, so it's an opportunity for me to actually go about remembering the Lord's name twice. Thanks for Hari to have such a name, right? And Hirok and us go away. I mean, whether it's Hirok or Hariharan, we go a very, very long way, almost 40 plus years. And it's always a great pleasure to meet up with old brothers of Sai, whom we have shared everything in our life in our growing up days. So, it is also a great pleasure to be here. Thank you, Venkat, for having me here on this platform. It's always a pleasure to talk about Swami, And I always consider talking about Swami is that 1 hour or 1.5 hours is a meditation for me, or the way of remembering Swami, right? Either it's listening, either you are listening to someone speaking, or we are ourselves involved in speaking, right? So I'm not a singer, but I am a singer, right? When I say I am not a singer, in the sense that singers, a bhajan is not complete without the followers. So I'm a great follower. So a lead singer who sings like Hari, Hirok and all are lead singers, but their value gets added and increases only when we, the followers, are there. So I do not consider myself as a non-singer, right? And I would tell to all the brothers and sisters on this platform too, that you are, all of us are singers, right? And we sing the Lord's name, because bhajan is not one-sided. It's not like a kirtan, right? So bhajans are always having a followership. And without that, it is an incomplete process of what a bhajan is. Okay, and so thank you very much for having me here, and Sairam to all the brothers and sisters here. So I would start with my pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan, Sri Satya Sai Baba, Swami, right? Always bless us and continue to bless us all the time. We would start with a small clipping which I've shared with Venkat. So about with the can you put this? Yes.
కొరుగు పెట్టిన బుట్టబెలు జుట్టు కులమత చిహ్నాలు కలక గుర్తెను దీపు కులమత చిహ్నాలు కలక గుర్తెను దీపు తిలకము లేని తిలకము కనిపించి కనిపించకయు కనిపించి కనిపించకయు పాదములు దాచు బహువన్నేల పట్టు పట్టు నిలువు తంగి కనిపించి కనిపించకయు పాదము దాచు బహువన్యల పట్టు నిలువు తంగి నైజ శృంగారంపు ఆటలు పాటలు చూపు నైజ శృంగారంపు పాటలు చూపు శివశక్తి ఏ ఈతడనీరు జుట్టు బొట్టు కట్టు పుట్టుక ఎల్లను జుట్టు బొట్టు కట్టు పుట్టుకలన్నిట గట్టిని కన్నచి పట్టుదంచు చిట్టి సత్యసాయి చిన్నయమన్నట్టు ఇతని గుట్టరుంగ ఎవరి తరము ఇతని గుట్టరుంగ ఎవరి తరము ఇతని గుట్టరుంగ ఎవరి తరము.
So this is primarily right. I would start my talk on Swami or sharing of this. So I'm just sharing what the poem some of us might have missed out. So this is a poem describing Swami by Swami. That's the beauty of it. Swami is right describing about Swami himself. So the poem goes something like this, right? And I just put the English translation for the benefit of all of us. He says, in a manner that leaves an unusual impression, there is a basket-like bushy hair without the marks of a particular religion or community. There is a markless forehead or face in a way that hides and reveals them. There is a silken long robe over the feet, showing inherent divine beauty in play and song. Know that he is Shiv Shakti in hairstyle, forehead mark, dressing, and the manner of birth. It is not possible to understand his nature. Chitti Satya Sai, Chitti Satya Sai is bliss and consciousness, for whom is it possible to find his mystery. It is true, Swami, that we will never be able to understand the mystery of yours, but you have given us the grace to at least experience you. Now, if you see that, I just take a couple of minutes here. Swami is talking about some of the very startling things we say, unusual impression. You will never see a personality like Swami anywhere in the universe. You search any of the Google, right? You can search any images. You will never find any image except Sai's image in this particular form. That's what he says. In a manner that leaves an unusual impression, there is a basket like bushy hair without a marks of a particular religion or community. So there is absolutely, because he's divine, he's the ultimate God. This is repeated twice by Swami. There is a markless forehead or face. If you see that for face of Swami is blemishless, you would not even see one this thing, except for that beautiful mole of his, which so much attracts all of us as such in his beautiful cheek. Otherwise, you will never see any mark there. There is a silken long robe over the feet. And this is a beautiful explanation which Swami says, showing inherent divine beauty in play and song. That means you can see it. So it's in a way that hides and reveals them. What? There is a silken long robe over the feet. What is hidden and revealing? So we'll see this beautiful whenever Swami is walking and is passing by or is sitting. We will see his feet. It is never that you will see the full foot of Swami, except probably in a very few photographs, but I don't see that you will never see the full glimpse of Swami's feet. That's exactly what he is describing. There is a silken long robe over the feet, right, which hides and reveals them. So beautifully Swami is telling, and which is a fact, what he, and showing the inherent divine beauty in play and song. Know that he is Shiv Shakti. in hairstyle, forehead mark, dressing, and manner of birth. It is not possible to understand his nature. All right. And Swami is saying Chitti Satya Sai. Chitti Satya Sai means small Satya Sai, small Satya Sai is bliss and consciousness. For whom is it possible to find this mystery? Is it possible for any of us to find this mystery of Sai? Is something which, all right, we will all the time keep wondering about and keep thinking about it as such. Okay. So when I am saying this, this is what Swami is. Now, what am I going to talk about? Swami is a mysterious personality or a person whom we have actually seen, lived with, but yet is a mystery. And that is the beauty of Swami. And the beauty of Swami is that his mystery is so divine, and every time it is different. So therefore, it is not possible. He himself is saying that it is not possible for anyone to understand my mystery. So let us not go about, I will not go about making any attempt to understand his mystery, but I will go about trying to go live in that mystery in every form of his glory that he has shown it to us and continues to show. So today, actually, what I have thought is my talk would primarily be on experiencing Sai as a devotee. I'm slightly taking a different path here as to the way in which I would like to take this satsang of ours is everyone is a devotee. Now, Sai's student is primarily a devotee. So there is actually no one who's connected with Swami who is not a devotee. So it is not Sai's student, all right, though it is a great blessing and his grace that we were in his proximity, physical proximity, shared his love, right, and went about enjoying those beautiful moments as a Sai student. But who are we as a Sai student? Are we different? No, we are not different. We are a devotee. We are primarily a devotee and devotee first. So I will, all right, so therefore now the talk I am trying to go about saying is experience Sai as a devotee. I say, right? So my time, the first reflection goes to me, right, as a person and Swami physically connected. My first visit to Puttaparthi was in 1970. Though, right, father was introduced to Swami in 1962, and I will come to that part a little later. All right, in 1970, we all made a visit to Puttaparthi, and it was Shivaratri. Puttaparthi in those days was the old Prashnathi Mandir. And as I was a small boy, probably 8 years or so, 8 or 9 years is what my age was. And we were all very excited as children. All of us went there. My sisters, I have 2 sisters, and then my mother, myself, and father, and a group of people from Hyderabad set out to this pilgrimage of Puttaparthi and the journey. So in this particular journey, one of the most exciting, because for me, there was Swami all the time in the house, bhajans were going on, Nagar Sankirtan, and then neighbor's house, some bhajan. So therefore, Swami was just like any other photo which is there in the altar where you go and pray, like Venkateshwara Swami, you go and pray. Swami is there and then we go about praying. I'm a small boy and I understand that he's, all right, so any photo which is there in a puja room is God. So you pray. So therefore, Swami's photo is there in the puja room. So therefore, he's God. So just go about praying to him. Praying is just, put your hands down and then bow down, put vibhuti, and that's about it. But you're a small child, right? So you don't get into that part of it very detailed. So there was this whole excitement because everybody had to have a torch. I was very excited because at that time, we are talking about the late 60s and the early 70s. These are things which are of high value. Every house will not have a torch and all. So torches are bought for a certain particular purpose or something. So there was everybody having a torch in the sense, I also will have a torch. So I was very excited because putting up the button, pushing off the button was there. So So we traveled and we came to Puttaparthi. There, it was a long journey from Hyderabad. So we took a train. We came to Dharmavaram. Then we had to take a bus and there, and then we came to Puttaparthi. Then came the vision of Puttaparthi. How was Puttaparthi at that time? Right, I'm sharing a few pictures because these are some of the things where some of my some of my batchmates or people might actually go about saying, might have experienced this as such. But some of us have not seen, right, how old mandir or old Prashnathi Nilayam would look like. It was in this particular form that, all right, you would see the mandir over there, and then there was, this is how the setup was. And there was this small shed. There was a shed here where Swami is walking down. That was the setup which was there, which was primarily the one which when I went to Puttaparthi, that was what the vision was. And then there were no rooms, and everybody was actually looking at for an open space, and wherever they could find a space, they would put their luggage, and that would become their space. So therefore, everybody shared the bedroom of the Lord as such. That means the sky was the roof, and then you whatever space was there, that is the place where you would spread your bed sheet. And the beauty of it is when Swami's darshan came, you actually fold the bed sheet. None of the luggages moves off. It's still the same. From there only you enjoy everything. Swami's discourse is enjoyed from there. Swami's darshan is enjoyed from there. Sometimes Swami would walk in between all those devotees as such. It was a very, very informal setting, and Swami's love and blessing was on everyone as such. So therefore, it was for me as a small child. All right, all these things don't bother because this is an adventure that you would, all right, you would be enjoying. Now, there are a couple of incidences that I would like to narrate here, which I was personally involved. Now, this was Shivratri time. So at that time, you would have only about maximum, even during the festival time. On the festival day, the number would be there. But before the festival day, or 2 days before that, we were a couple of days early, if I remember rightly. And then devotees would just sit outside. And in fact, the devotee line would start right in front of the Swami's door. You could sit on the veranda and things like that, wherever you could get space, and people would sit in a line. And then the Swami would come for darshan, and then he would call for anyone interview. And then Swami called my father for an interview. And I was tagged on to my father. I was a little fellow wearing shorts. And then I didn't know anything over there. So his father got up and started walking. I also walked with father. And the door arrived, and then the interview door opened. And then suddenly father said, you go back, you go home, you go to your mother. I was supposed to enter the interview room, and my father, who's supposed to have actually been felt very lucky to bring his son for the interview, sends me away from the door. He says, you go to your mother. And you're a small boy, you don't understand. When father says, go away, you go, but you go crying. I went back crying. I did not have the interview. I remember even to his last breath, my father, whom I am responsible, all right, all of us children are right, grateful to him because he is responsible. He is the one who brought us to the Swami's fold. He, to his last breath, always you would remember this and say, all right, I sent you back. You missed a chance of having Swami's darshan, right, when you were a small child. But then it was Shivratri. So therefore, it was all right. He came back and he was quite not so very happy with himself, whatever happened. But then it has to go on. Then it was Shivratri. And the day on Shivratri, one of the amazing things that I was a witness to for the first time was, this is a setup. Now, this is exactly the setup what I say. You see Kasturi ji, and there's Shirdi Baba's statue over there, Swami standing. I'm taking the picture exactly outside. So this is, if you see the number of people outside the mandir, if you see, there will be very few people. And Swami in the morning did Abhishekam. Now he did a Vibhuti Abhishekam. Now that was the first time I saw what was an Abhishekam. So
Ashok,
first he
Ashok,
created,
just 1 minute. I think the pictures are not visible.
which is not visible.
He's showing the, yeah.
All right, is
Can't
it
see
shared?
that.
No, you have not shared. It's not.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You have the security, you have the permissions to share, but you have not shared.
Oh, let's get this right.
So go back to share screen and then onto the PowerPoint.
Yeah. I thought I was sharing it.
I was thinking whether I was trying to see whether you're asking me to play the video. Then I saw that it was a photo, so I was about to ask. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Now is it seen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, you can go to presentation mode. It'll come up bigger.
Yeah, I'll go to that. I was actually on the presentation mode, right?
So,
Is this okay now?
Yeah.
Right. So if you see that this is the old mandir. Yeah, thanks Hirok for prompting that this picture was not there. Right. This is the old mandir, and you would see very few devotees would be sitting there for darshan, and Swami would come out for darshan. Right. This is the shed I was referring to, and we had occupied a little space in that shed where all our luggage and everything was there. So this was the shed which was close, similar to that of Purnachanda Auditorium. I'm not very sure if the same area was where the shed was put up. But then I was coming to the Abhishekam part, and then this is exactly the scene which was there. There was this Shirdi Baba statue, silver statue, and then Kasturiji was there. I remember there was an old man, so later I came to know that he's Kasturiji. And then Swami would do the Abhishekam. So that is the first time I saw what was called as a Vibhuti Abhishekam. I never heard about it also in my childhood days or before coming to Perth. So I was pretty excited as to what is going to happen. Nobody said anything. Then Swami created, started doing. Then there was 3 types of Abhishekam, if I remember rightly. One was a Kumkum Abhishekam, which was done. Then there was the Haldi Abhishekam, Paspu, which was basically done. And then the Vibhuti Abhishekam was done. Now this Abhishekam, after the Abhishekam, Swami would wash it off, clean it up. And then he created one locket and then put it across Shirdi Baba's statue as such. This was a morning function. Now, just for the benefit of everyone, I have, I mean, some of us who might not have seen, some of might have seen relating to that. I'm just trying to share this video. I think Venkat, you can play the other video.
Here we see Bhagwan Baba pulling his hand out from the inverted pot, and Vibhuti has stopped flowing. He now inserts the other hand and twirls, and lo and behold, Vibhuti starts flowing again.
Right, so this was the first in the morning. This Abhishekam took place, and this is how the Abhishekam was there. This is how I witnessed it. And what I noticed over there was, as a child, you have this curiosity, and then Swami would stop, the Abhishekam would stop, as what we have seen in the video, which was shown just now. And then came the evening time, and the evening time was this time where you would have the Akhanda Bhajan, the Shivratri Akhanda Bhajan. This was the first time that I saw Swami materializing, or creating the Jyotirlinga, the linga from his mouth. So that time it used to be a little late, it would go on till 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, Swami would still be there. And I remember very vividly how this was. Swami used to keep on drinking glasses of water, glasses of water, glasses of water. So right, I was very curious. I was all right as a small boy. I would because there was a talk. Father said that Swami would create linga. This time we are all blessed to see Swami creating the linga, or the lingam. And then suddenly the lingam came out, and then his Swami showed this lingam. This was the first time I was blessed to see the lingam created by Swami. Right, and we were all so blessed about it. Then the whole night the bhajan took place, and then the bhajan, after the bhajan was over, then Swami would come. All right, and then you might have noticed that Swami was distributing the vibhuti packets. Those days it was, all right, very much a part of Swami's. Is the video is the sharing happening? Okay, now. All right, this is the Shanti Niketan. This is the earlier on, there was no, as mentioning, the shed was there. And then there was this Shanti Niketan. There was a podium, like a stage like thing. If you see that part of it as such, that is the place where Swami had would sit at that time. And then the Abhishekam took place. That is the place where Swami had created the lingam as such. Now, if you see here, Swami would distribute vibhuti. So that means afterwards the prasadam was vibhuti, and vibhuti would be given to everyone. You would get pad namaskar, and you would also go about getting a vibhuti packet. So this is all right. Since going to Parthi is to get vibhuti, even today, every one of us from our house, when we visit Parthi, when we are coming out of Parthi, we will take the vibhuti packet. Now, just for the information of everyone over here, and in case you might be aware, but in case you're not aware, just when you're going out on the gate side, there will be this security person. Please ask for vibhuti. If you don't ask for vibhuti, they will not give you. Please ask for a vibhuti. They will give you vibhuti packet. So that is the prasadam that you would receive from Swami. So please see that you take this prasadam whenever you visit Puttaparthi, and this is available in the security. So when you're leaving, take the prasadam and go. This culture, I mean, this practice of ours basically started, right, because we were, all right, introduced to this at a very early age, where Swami would personally give us the vibhuti prasadam. Now, if you actually, all right, this is how I was introduced to Swami. So it was a very mesmerizing and a beautiful way as a small child. But I was, right, I was not, I say, okay, this is Swami. This is the God who's there in the right, in the altar, and you pray for him. But I was fascinated with all those, the adventure which were taking place during our visit to Parthi during Shivaratri. Now, I am going to share the experiences of devotee asset. Now, there are two of the devotees that I would like to share, and these are one is my father, and the other one is my mother. I mean, my brother. These people had very close this thing. Then I will come to, because my introduction to Swami is because of these two people. Our old family came into Swami's fold because of my father as well as my brother. My father was a contractor. He was introduced to Swami, or was introduced to Swami in 1962. There was an old and a good friend of his called Anand, and he was the one who introduced Swami to him as such. My father's first visit to Puttaparthi was in 1964. All right, he was a volunteer for Vishwa. Right, there was this a conference which was held for Vishwa Vidwan conference. Now I am narrating everything from the diary which my father has written and has left it to me. Right, he left it to me, and he says this is to Ashok, and I'm narrating all those as first hand. So it was in 1964 that he first visited, and he mentions there were only 20 volunteers then. All right, it was the Vishwa Vidwan conference Samiti which was held in Puttaparthi, and there were only 20 volunteers who would take care of all the conference thing. And it was in 1968 that my father had the first interview with Swami. Now, in the first interview with Swami that he had, along with my brother. Now, this is the first statement that Swami had made to my father. So I'm sharing a few things on the picture format because it'll be easy to get registered. So I'll just, sorry. Okay, this is my, is this visible, Venkat?
No, not yet. It was and you moved away. You have to share screen again.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Is it now visible?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is my father and my mother, and along with Swami. The first thing he said in 1968 when Swami came in, I have not called you, but for your son, that is my brother. You came on my remembrance. Now, the startling thing, what strikes to me is my remembrance. That means nobody can visit Swami or have his blessings or have his darshan without his will. Even if all of us are sitting and now and listening to Swami and his glory over there, it is his will. And just to share here, I am taking a pause. When I was thinking about what I should go about talking, and then I thought I should share my Shivratri experience. The first thing when I opened in the morning my laptop was the video of Shivratri, Vibhuti. So this I consider is Swami's right guidance for me that I should show this. And this has happened and keeps happening with, this is exactly what I say, experiencing Sai as a devotee. Are we open to this love of his? So in this interview, coming to this interview, right, of what father had with him, he said, this is the thing that he said. And in that interview, it was just to give a background here. My father and my brother, I had my elder brother Srinivas, basically was in a little disturbed manner as a youngster, and the parents were worried. And therefore, my father, with advice of some of his friends, some devotee friends, said, okay, let me take him to Swami, and Swami will guide him and bless him. So that's how they both of them came to Puttaparthi, and then Swami gave them the interview as such. In that interview, Swami created a Shirdi Baba's silver ring for my father, and he gave it to him. Now there is a background of the Shirdi Baba's ring which was created to my father. My father was a Shirdi Baba devotee. He used to do this. I mean, he is actually from Pandharpur, all right, the holy town of Pandharapura. And so therefore, most Maharashtrians are closely associated to Shirdi. My father used to read the Sai Katha. And he would read the original Sai Katha that was in Marathi. And every day in the morning, his part of the rituals, the puja, this thing was, he would read the Sai Katha. I think that is why he said, okay, I think Swami said, for you, the old man is good. So he gave him the Shirdi Sai Baba ring, which was his first blessing to my father. So this is how we actually were involved, or he was involved. In 1968, right, is where this happened. And then since father was a contractor, it so happened that Swami was, these people, the Hyderabad Samiti people had actually gone for voluntary service in Puttaparthi. Right, I will show you the picture along with Swami, which they had gone. Now they were doing this voluntary service, at Puttapur, and this is the Anantapur College, and you will see all the people, you will see Swami and the volunteers. Now, Swami personally supervised. This is the beauty of Swami that we need to understand. He worked hard. He really worked hard physically. He spent all his time building institution. He did not use his divine powers or any of the sankalpa. He did it as like all of us common people, how we would do. So he would basically come supervise. You know, it was those days, we are talking about the 70s. All right, those days, you know, communication, the transportation system, it is not like the way in which it was. So Swami would come from Puttaparthi and then stay the whole day and then do all the supervision, guide them. And a lot of volunteers would be used. A lot of volunteers came. Like today also, the same culture continues. Volunteers come and serve Swami because that's the blessing that Swami, or that's the grace that he showers, giving an opportunity of serving, all right, whether it is for the community or for Swami. And serving Swami is serving community, because Swami does not do anything for himself. Swami does everything for the community. So in fact, you see the Anantapur College came up in 1968. That is the first college. Later, the Vrindavan College came. And then I would like to share this time that in 1970, that same year, one fine day, a letter drops into our house. And behold, the letter was from Swami. I'm sharing this Swami's letter here because there are a couple of things that we will learn from this as such. And all right, so this is the letter. I'll put it on the full form. And it is the original one is there. You will see the letter of Swami Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, handwritten. And 15/2/1970 is what the letter is come. So I'm just basically going to go about reading the letter. It says, Purushottam, accept my blessings. I'm saying translation of the letter. Accept my blessings. I am happy after receiving the information for the construction of our college. A big size concrete mixing machine is very necessary. Buy a cheap second-hand machine and send as soon as possible. If you buy a new machine, it would be of no use later and will be a waste. Hence, buy a second-hand machine and send if possible. Work is progressing at a very slow pace. And the reason behind is the lazy attitude of the engineer. What shall I do? I will try to explain to him in a nice way. If it is not possible, I will appoint another person for the same. My blessings to Graha Lakshmi, Chiranjeevi Srinivas, and children, my Daya and Anugraha are always in plenty. Try to send at the earliest. Now, in this letter, though this is a personal letter, but this is a letter which is primarily, it is a letter of work.
Ashok.
There are two lessons which I take from this.
Ashok,
yes.
Please read Telugu also, please. There are few Teluguites also, please. Then continue, please.
You want me the Telugu one?
Yeah. Read it as it is.
Telugu one, Ari, you should pardon me because that is not so clear, and I don't want to commit any mistake because those are exactly words where Swami has written.
Okay.
And it is verbatimely translated, and this translation is done by my sister. She will not do a mistake. So, all right, forgive me for
not at all. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I understand from where you're coming, Hari, because that Swami's Telugu version is always a beautiful version. Okay. So here Swami says, buy a big size concrete machine and it is necessary. Buy a cheap second-hand machine. Now Swami if you see, Swami can afford to buy anything. He can get any machine. But he says, buy a second-hand machine. He's giving the explanation. He doesn't have to give an explanation. But he's so beautifully a lesson to all of us. Why does he say, buy a second-hand machine? right? If you buy a new machine, it would be of no use later and will be a waste. So it's, Swami says, I don't want to waste money, because this is a money which is given by various devotees, because Swami doesn't own anything. So therefore, devotees' money or donations or the money what he wants to spend is not to be wasted. So again he repeats, hence buy a second-hand machine and send if possible. He's not saying send it. He say send if possible. It's a request. Swami doesn't have to make a request, but he is so gracious, because that is why he is Swami. He says, right, that if possible, say, and how humble. What a learning for us, that we need to be very humble. I say, and then the second part, what I would like to, what I learned from this letter is, work is progressing at a very slow pace, and the reason behind is the lazy attitude of the engineer. What shall I do? Is asking the father, right? Because he was involved in the supervision. I will try to explain to him nicely. If not possible, I will appoint another person for the same. So he say, I will give you a chance. He say, I should give a chance. So I will give a chance to that engineer and speak to him. And if he does not mend his ways, then we will replace him. So that means Swami is always, what is the learning from this letter that I take? And right, we can go about taking from this letter is, what is that? So Swami is saying, don't waste anything. You cannot waste money. And right? And why should we waste any money? This machine is required for a particular purpose. And Swami didn't have too many construction work. We're talking about 70. So he says, this is only for this work. So let us buy this machine, a second-hand one, and then, so don't waste money. And the second lesson, what is there is, Swami is always gracious. He's always going to give us another chance. If we do a mistake, that is not right. We shouldn't be really worried about it. But having realized that it is a mistake or something which we are doing and Swami is not liking us doing it as such, then we should correct ourselves. Otherwise, he will take action. Is what this is how I interpret Swami as such, from this letter. And then obviously it's a command from Swami. It is also a grace. It's also a blessing. The father did buy a machine, and he writes in his diary that the machine costed 4,000 rupees, and the machine was given and used for the construction purpose of Swami for the Anantapur college as such. So if you see, Swami would take his advice in the Anantapur college, and he would go about spending time there. And that was Swami's blessing on us in the family. For us, it was something which was a great blessing for us. Then, during this period of 1970, it was this 70 period, 70, 71, 72 was, or this period was a divine period for our family. Now, this was there was Swami, and then Swami would come. Hirok was mentioning, right, that Swami had inaugurated, actually, Swami had laid the foundation stone for our building that father had wanted to construct. During that period, he had come all the way from Shivam to our house, and right, then did the foundation stone laying. And he showered a lot of grace and blessings on all of us in the family part. Now, I would also like to recall my brother. Now, he's I'm right. I'm sharing the experiences of devotees. Since I said that we are sharing the experiences of devotees, and these devotees are family members, so I am sharing it with authenticity as such. My brother, Srinivas, was the one who was the reason, as Swami himself acknowledged, was the reason why all of us came to Swami's fold in this. And Swami loved him a lot. I don't know the relationship of my father. I mean, my brother and Swami was cannot be explained between what a God and a devotee's relationship was. In 1968, when he first had the interview, then they came off to Hyderabad. I think it was in 69 or so that there was a group of Sevadal who were going from Hyderabad. In fact, in those days, Sevadals were the ones who used to do a lot of service in Swami for a very, very long period of time. The head of the Sevadal was, of course, the late Raman Raoji. He is a star. I mean, there is no one in Seva activities. There's no one bigger than him. He is a giant of a person. And those of you who know Raman Rao Garu. So he was a leader, and there was this Kaldas Garu who used to do Swami's door duty for many years during our college days. Right, Hirok also shared door duty time with him, and Hariharan also knows. All of our batchmates know Kaldas, that lovely fat gentleman. And then there was this Patel. I mean, Patel also used to do this seva in Mandir, which when he used to be behind Swami, taking care of Swami's requirement when he would give darshan. Now, these were the starlets who were the Sevadal members of Hyderabad, and many more. So these people were going to Parthi because there was this Dasara celebrations, and therefore for the Dasara celebration there was a bus going, and Mr. Anand Juchal, who was my father's close friend, and he was a neighbor, a very close devotee of Swami, told father and told brother that there's this group of people are going, since you have no work. I mean, the school is not there. Why don't you go with them in the bus? I don't know. My brother is a very modern and a very outbound person, right? He is a city-bound person who lived a life very luxuriously, I would say. So somehow he said, okay, he just put up. And how many days they said? He said 4 days or so. And therefore he took a bag with 4 clothes and then he went on. He joined them. And so therefore these people were doing the service. So one day, the next day, I think the next day or a day after, they landed up in Puttaparthi. Raman Rao came and told to Anna. Anna is my brother, Srinivas, so I'll refer to him as Anna only because that's how I referred him. So he came to her and spoke and called Anna and said, will you do door duty? Swami wants you to do door duties. My brother Anna didn't understand what door duty is. So he said, sir, what is door duty? Swami is asking you to door duty. And then what is door duty? Then he said, door duty is nothing. You will have to go, they will tell you what it is. You will be with Swami. You will have to clean the rooms and keep the rooms neat. And then when Swami is coming out for darshan, you open the door, you close the door. And whatever Swami tells, you do. Then brother said, Anna said, can I do it or not? No, Swami said, you have to, as asked you to do, you go. So he took Anna to Swami's room, and Swami said, you don't do. So Swami very lovingly asked, Chestawa, Swami Kosamo, Koni Rojalu, he said. So what will you say when Swami asks like this? So when Swami asks anything, you will only go about saying, Chestan Swami. So he said, Chestan Swami. So at that time, Rajarao Garu, Rajareddy Garu used to be Swami's personal attendant. So he showed him what are the things you have to do. So cleaning it before Swami would come down. So you have to clean the room, and all those duties, what you are supposed to do as a door duty, is where he was assigned. Now, there are some beautiful incidences which my Anna had told us. So one of these days, in the afternoon, then after all the choruses there, one of the blessings that door duty people have is that they will do Pada Seva. So doing Pada Seva to Swami is one of the blessings and grace all these low duty people, or one who is serving Swami. And Hirok is blessed to have done this. Kote was blessed to have done this. So there are many of our classmates who were blessed to have done this particular service. So Anna was doing Path Seva. So when he was doing Path Seva, then he said, Nik ring kavalna. So Swami, he said, Swami, kavale. So he created a ring and he gave. Then he said, A ring kavale, na ring kavalna, muslaina ring kavalna. Swami always used to refer Shirdi Baba as old man, muslaina. Okay. So he said, muslaina ring kavalna. Le muslaina ring nanak ichan kada, niku sam ring istana. So he gave Swami's ring. But Swami didn't put the ring onto his finger. He said, and he put it in his pocket. And he said, you are not going to show this ring to anyone. Because after the service was there, he used to go back to the Sevadal people. This, where they used to say exactly opposite Swami's bungalow, the mandir, where the car garage is there. Ari and Hirok will know. That time they used to be there, open shed would be there, and all the Sevadal used to be there. So Swami would sometimes see them from the window. He could see them from the window. So he gave the ring and he said, oh, right, don't show it to anyone, don't tell to anyone. He said, okay, Swami. So he put the ring, and then he, in the evening after retiring over there, so Kaildas obviously was very close. That's why Kaildas, Patel Garu, and then Raman Rao Garu had a lot of love to Anna. So they would ask, what did Swami say? What did Swami do? And this. So Anna was basically didn't know what to do. And then he told Kaildas Garu, Swami gave me a ring, and he showed the ring. Okay. And then Anna told Kaildas, don't tell anyone. Okay, like Swami said, don't tell anyone. He told Kaildas, don't tell anyone. Then came the next day when he went, and after all the choruses, Swami's the thing is over there, and then you're doing Path Seva. Then Swami said, give the ring. Then he gave the ring. Then he blew, and the ring disappeared. He said, I have told you. Then Swami said, Nen cheppan kada, over chupettodani, you chupettavu kada, Kaildas chupettavu kada. Then, right, Anna says, I started crying. Because I didn't know the power of Swami. Then he said, Swami ante emankunnavra? Swami gurinchi neekem telchura? And these are the same things he told me once, long time back when I was a student too. And he would tell this to many of us, students, right? Because we used to take Swami for granted. So sometimes, for a jolt, he would come and tell, Swami, what do you think that Swami is? What do you know about Swami? Meekem telvadra, padinam telustundi. One day you will know about us, about Swami and his glory. This is very common. I think Hirok also might have heard this many times. Swami telling us this as such. Then he didn't give. He didn't give the ring because he had to, probably there was a lesson that we have to learn. I am reminded of a incidentally here, I am reminded at this juncture about testing. It was in our first year of Pudaparthi and in the whole hostel. Nityanand, our warden Nityanand Garu, sir, gave a speech. And that time Swami suddenly was very upset with us. And then he was not speaking, which was very common. And most of our friends might have shared about how Swami would try to put us in the right path. He told me he told us one beautiful way in which what is testing. And I'm sharing this with you. And this has got stuck to me. I'm talking in 1979, this speech was given. He said, there is a nail. Every one of us is a nail. And there is a hammer. If you have to put a nail into the wall, you will have to hammer it. Okay? So all of us, and you students and all of us are nails, and Swami is the hammer. So he will keep on hammering us and we will go inside, right? And after we put the nail inside, what do? We shake the nail. and see whether it is strong or not. Only when you are satisfied that it is strong will we put the portrait, because he will take the weight. So that is what is testing, shaking the nail to see whether the nail is strong enough to do it. So this drilling of Swami will continue for all of us, right? All of us, till such time that we are strong enough, and we don't know when we will become strong. In his eyes, strong, right? We may feel we are strong. We may feel that, okay, we have achieved certain things and we have actually become better human beings. We are not supposed to, because he is the one who is hammering the hammer. He is the one who is going to test us. So there are going to be testing times. So similarly, my brother had to go through this, and Swami didn't give, so he was very upset. Next day he had come, and then he told, that day evening, he told Keldas that this is what happened. Swami has taken away the ring. He has not given me, because Swami has come to know that I have shown the ring. And of course, Keldas Garu was feeling guilty, because he felt that he was responsible for this to happen. Right. So this continued. This game would come. He would create the ring, show it to him, and then blow and take it away. That's what Anna used to say. For a couple of days, this divine Leela of his continued. Now there is so here it also happened that since Anna had a certain style of living, so the food in the canteen food would never be good enough for him, or very palatable. So he could go out and eat, but he's not supposed to go out and eat, because Swami is doing Swami Seva. So he would eat hardly anything. And Swami would ask him regularly, and this is very common. Swami will ask people who are serving him regularly, have you had food? Did you eat? I think Hiro can vouch for this, that did you eat food? Right? And so he would ask Anna. So Anna would say, yes, Swami, I had. I know. So he would reply, Anna would say that Swami would reply and say, na telcho, canteen food nika aitaledu. And then he would create. He said one day he created laddu and he gave it to him. And he says, when the laddu was kept in my hand, it was warm, hot, fresh. And when I pressed it, the ghee was coming out of it. These are things where Swami would basically go. We have read about it, heard about it. When Swami was a child, he used to do, many people over there. And regularly, Swami would go about giving him some dry fruits, some mixture, because Swami would always have food. Right? Because you never know who is required to be good, right? So he would give him mixture, he would give him some sweet or something over there. This is how, this thing. Then came, and just sharing here some pictures of my brother serving Swami, right? So that you would, you would understand what I'm trying to tell you as such. This is my brother in green shirt. And you could see Mr. Patel and Mr. Raman Rao behind him. And I think Kaldas was also there at the side. And this was during the Dasara festival. And this is the festival. And the blessing of this is that there's this bhajan, Radio Sai had played. And in this bhajan, this video, is where the Anna and this Dasara celebration was there. So I had captured these pictures of Anna, and then we were able to recognize. I have to mention that my Anna is basically merged with Swami a couple of years back. But he did see this picture and he was very, very thrilled that he never knew that there was such a video or a picture of his. He is there serving Swami, and this is where Swami was giving the Vibhuti as such. This was the Dasara festival time that he had spent with Swami doing the door duty service as such. And so he had, a wonderful time over there, and he spent. And no person who has done service to Swami will ever be sent without being blessed. So he lastly created the ring of Swami himself in silver, and then gave him the ring, gave him a photograph he created. We still have it at home. And he said, whenever you require Swami, you pray to this photo and Swami will be with you. Right? There's a black and white photo. And then he said, నీకు ఫోటో ఇవ్వాలి కదా. సో ద లాస్ట్ డే నీకు ఒక ఫోటో ఇవ్వాలి కదా స్వామితోని, ఎలా చేద్దాము? Then he said, okay, I will give you a photograph. I'm talking about those days, Swami giving a Polaroid photo. So he has right, my brother has a Polaroid photo taken by Swami just outside the door, the back door, the mandir back door. The mandir bhajan hall door is there. So that back door he took outside, because that time, right, so he went out, light kavala kada. So he took and then he took the photograph with Anna, and then gave him the Polaroid photo. And incidentally, I am also reminded, Swami also gave me a Polaroid photo with Swami. That is a photo that I had shared as such, right? So both the brothers were blessed with a Polaroid photo of Swami. Incident, right? So Polaroid at that time, it was just come that time, and it was there with Swami, and it's still there in the house. And then he sent him with a lot of blessings, and he had four pairs of clothes over there, and the green shirt. So that at that time there was nothing. I mean, people were just growing and then coming over there. So white clothes were worn by a few people. Many didn't wear the white clothes. I have to mention here that my brother later served Swami for 2 more years in 1984-85. In fact, along with his 2 children and my sister-in-law, they were with Swami, and he used to be in stores along with Kailas, because Kailas and him, Garu and him, go a long way as such. So this is how Swami, right? These 2 devotees of Swami were blessed. Now, just to conclude about these 2 devotees, right? These 2 devotees also had Swami's vision and blessing before they took their own, they merged with Swami, right? My father was on his last days. I'm saying that Swami doesn't leave. And the letter words which always say, I am, right? Always, he said, Anugraha, Daya, Anugraha is there always, he said. So, right, why I'm mentioning this is word given by Swami. And Swami is not necessarily, I have to mention here, not necessarily that Swami has given a word to a person only. Swami has given his word in speech, and we are listening to it. That means that word is given to every one of us. His discourse, he has said, I bless you all. I will take care of you. Right, I am with you. It means that he has given a word to every devotee of his. It is not personally, because right, that is a personal message to every one of us. It is not that he has to call Ashok, come here and I'm going to bless you over there. His blessing, and we are listening to him itself, is his blessing, is his grace on us. And right, just coming back here, in the last days of my father, and then my father one day, he was bedridden. He could not get up, and it's almost the day in his last days that he was there. And then one day he called, my sister, my eldest sister was there, right? And then my nephew was there, and he said Swami came in a dream. My mother was there, and Swami came in a dream. And he said, I was sweating, right? He was sweating a lot over there. We have a recording of what he said. That small clipping is being recorded. And he said Swami came. He was not able to speak properly. He was in a very feeble voice. Then he said Swami came. Where Swami came? He said Swami came here only. It was not a dream. You say Swami came here. And what did Swami say? Swami came and he looked at me, and I complained to Swami. He says, my father says, Nanagaru is saying, I complained to Swami, and Swami, this is very hot and my shirt is very tight. He's saying, right, he said, this is very hot, my shirt is very hot, and right, and this is very tight. I want you to remove this shirt. And then we asked him, what did Swami say? Swami smiled at me and went away. Because he had said that, and he said, he smiled at me and went away. After a few days, he merged with Swami. So therefore, he was there till the last day. Similar thing happened with my brother too. Because I'm saying Swami is always, why I'm telling you this is, Swami is going to be with us all the time, till our end. Take it, we have to just have this love and trust and faith in him. He is going to be with us. There is without any doubt. There is no, right, none of us should have any fear of this. And all right, my brother was, was sick. He was hospitalized and he had a major stroke. And then there was a call for me. I stay in Bangalore, and they called me up, and they said that you have to come, and all of you have to come because we don't know, and the doctors are not very positive about it. Then we all went, myself, my wife, my daughter, we all went. My brother, my son was, of course, not with us. He's there in the United States. So we all went, immediately rushed and went to Hyderabad. And then, so 2 days over, 1 day over, 2 days over. And then he says, then he told one of the neighbor's son. I mean, we were all very close there. He says, Swami has come here. And yes, I asked Swami that you should give me some more time. I asked Swami, you should give me some more time. So Swami smiled and went. Actually, he says, I have seen some people, pictures of people and all, so I'm not getting into that. But Swami came and he asked Swami, I need some more time. And Swami did give him grace time. He lived. Because I don't know what was the purpose that he wanted to live for some more time, because he had fulfilled all his duties as a father, as well as a son. Probably he had something with Swami, because he might not have spent a lot of time thinking about Swami. After that, he spent most of his time, almost all his time, listening to bhajans, talking about Swami. This is the time. Right, I'm telling you, my brother never shared anything of his this thing with Swami. Right, and his experiences with Swami personally with any one of us. It was during this time that he spoke about Swami and his times with Swami, at least to me, right, and to my sisters. Right, and he would share, he would talk more and more about Swami, and then one fine day, probably his time had been over, or the grace time that he had taken away was over, and then Swami took him away, and all of them had very peaceful journey as such. So he say, these two devotees is a great lesson that Swami's grace is all the time with us as such. Swami's grace is also been on my family. I just end this family a part of it. My Swami also performed my sister's marriage, so I just share that part. It was in my college days. I'm not able to share. Is this visible now? Technology is.
Yeah, no, Ashok, it is visible, but this is the Shada celebrations, which we are seeing.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, I'm just coming to that. Yeah. Is this now visible?
Yeah, because you have to make.
Yeah, visible.
Okay. This was in right, Prashnathi Nilayam, and then one I remember it was in 1982. Then one day Swami came to call me, and we were all sitting for darshan, and then Swami called me. I didn't know until then, and then he said, he called me in the sands, right, away from all the students. He said, come. Then I went to Swami, and Swami said, me akka penli fix chesano, right? Penli aitundi Swami daggara. So in right, 10th June 1982, Swami performed the marriage of my sister. Incidentally, my sister is also, this is my younger sister. I mean, not younger to me. I have two elder sisters. The second elder sister of mine, right? She's also an alumnus of Anantapur. She was the one who was so very keen to get into Swami's college, and she made all the efforts to get into Swami's college, and she studied graduation there as such. Now, right at this moment, I would like to basically state, and this is how the whole blessing of Swami on us is there. So, who is Swami? I ask this question. So, right. So, for us, when we say God, is this visible?
Yeah.
So we say God is defined. So there's a definition of God, and there are a number of Oxford dictionary definitions say God is a creator and the master of the universe. Now, creation and master of universe is something very, very big. So, but also they say that the attributes of God is primarily that God is omnipotent, all-powerful, God is omniscient, right, all-knowing, and God is omnipresent, ever-present. And Swami says, if you look to me, I look to you. Is all these characteristics of God, does it fit our Lord side? Right? So if actually you see some of the incidences or some of these experiences various people have shared on this platform, okay, you would see that Swami as an omnipotent, right, all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing, right, omnipresent has been explained and shared with us. I would like to share one incident of my sister here before I come to. Do we have time? Am I okay?
Go ahead, it is, please.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So this was right sometime earlier, which my sister shared. Right, Swami, right, for her, Swami comes in dreams very often. She's one of those blessed ones that Swami will come in her dreams and gives her various things well in advance, even for everyone in the family. So she'll get a dream and then we'll get a call and she'll say, Swami said this. So she had one dream. In that dream, Swami said, you are going to die and your husband is going to die. He said straight. You know how Swami sometimes is very, very straight, right? Like I was listening to Brother Sai Sunnath, and Sai Sunnath also is, Swami said that you would, to his parents, you will lose everything. So the same thing, right? A similar sort of a thing, Swami came and told that you are going to die, your husband is going to die. Then my sister said, Swami, what will happen? My son will become an orphan. She has got one son. And Swami, and then she was weeping, is what she said in the dream. And then Swami said, Chusta nemo chesta. The same day, my sister and my brother-in-law were actually coming back. My sister was coming back from office. She had just drawn salary, and she was saying some 8,000 rupees or so. And that time we're talking about 8,000 rupees is big money. It's always big money as such. Her salary she was carrying in a handbag. And then they were coming in Hyderabad. This happened, and then across, and they were They came to a circle where 4 roads were coming, and they were trying to cross. And from the opposite direction, a truck was coming very fast, and the truck, they could see the truck, and the truck came and hit them. The truck was very fast, and the truck came and hit them. And my brother and sister were flown off from the scooter. And then the bag fell off. And then some good Samaritans came, picked them up. Nothing happened to them, not a scratch. And my sister was searching for the purse, for a handbag, because that's where the money was. And that money was very, very important. And she was actually saw somebody a young man picking up the bag and then crossing the road, across the road. And that young man was standing, holding the bag, because there was a lot of traffic going on. He was standing and looking and smiling. And then everything got settled. My sister rushed across to this young man and who gave her the bag, smiled at him. She didn't even have time to say thank you. And this man just disappeared in the crowd. Now, we could say it is a coincidence. Now we can go about saying that this, okay, it's a good Samaritan. Who is this young man? And my sister says, oh, all right, this young man is none but Swami himself who had come. And Swami had come in the dream earlier, you would, right, and he's saved. So is Swami, is he an omnipotent? Is he that all-powerful Lord? Yes, he is the all-powerful Lord. If supposing he has cured many people, right? So he's got that power of curing, power of giving the grace, power of doing anything. Is he present everywhere? He's present everywhere, right? He is with us all the time. All we have to do is be open to it. Now, for example, this incident of me when I open the laptop and then this Shivratri video comes, should I take it as a coincidence? No, I will never take anything as a coincidence. It is a direction of Swami. It is a grace of Swami. Is the grace of Swami on every devotee? Are we open to this? Right? As a devotee of Swami, there are no coincidences.
Yes.
Do we have time, Venkat?
Yes, we do. We do
have, right?
Yes.
So there are a lot more. I'm actually not come to mind at all. I'm only talking about the devotees because I wanted to speak about devotees rather than speaking about the Sai student, because so many Sai students have spoken. Now, how does Swami work on a devotee? That's why I say experiences of devotees, what I'd say. Experiencing Sai as a devotee. Now, this is why I'm telling is that all the devotees, all of us who are listening, right, never are our prayers answered. Answer to this is yes. I will narrate one experience which we recently had. Now, me and my wife went to bhajan in Bangalore in one of the samitis in JP Nagar one day. And my wife was very disturbed. We had some, disturbing things for us in our life. And then my wife was very disturbed. So we said, okay, we will go and have Swami's darshan. And my wife basically is very hell-bent when it comes to Swami or anything. She wants it when she wants it. So when the bhajans were going on, she said, she looked at Swami's photo. She narrated this to me, but I was a witness to this incident too. And then she said to Swami that if you are there and you're listening to my prayer, the flower which is there, the red color flower should fall. And she says, and I saw the flower falling. So whenever flower falls, it is Swami's blessings only. It is not by some gravity or something over there. All of us acknowledge the fact that it is Swami's blessing which has fallen. That red flower fell. Okay, and I was also saying, okay, Swami, you have blessed us. I didn't know this because she told me after we came out of the bhajan hall. Now she was not satisfied, right? She was not satisfied. She said, I have to see you, Swami, on the chair. And then when she asked this particular prayer, then these two Sevadal members or the organizing members got Swami's robe.
Oh.
And placed it on Swami's throne. Right? Then she was literally crying and she was in total tears. Because Swami has answered two offers and gave it the assurance that I am there, why are you worried? So this statement of Swami which says, why fear when I am here? Does it hold good? Yes, it holds good. It holds good all the time. But when he answers, now we want answers. Now we say for us, time is defined. Human beings define time with sunrise and sunset. Does sun have anything to do with the Lord's sun? Does he move? He is constant. For him, there is no day, there is no night. He is the Lord. Time is only a measure which is us human beings go about saying minute, second, hour, day, year, so on and so forth. It is for us. So for God, he says now Brahma, the Puranas goes about saying 1 year of Brahma is so many years and yoga, etc. Those calculations which I normally don't understand. But I only understand that there is no definition of time in God's dictionary and God himself is time. So sometimes he doesn't answer our prayer immediately, right? He might take some time for the prayer to be answered, but the prayer would be answered. But we should have the patience, and that is exactly what Swami says is faith. We have the faith that we have. We believe in this Lord who is all powerful, and He has said number of times Himself to individually to all of us in the various different forms that He's always there. So therefore, my brothers and sisters listening here, do not take anything. Now you say some stranger comes and helps you in a difficult time. Is Swami sent? He is Swami's blessing only. Is no one else. And Swami, right, I have experienced this, you have experienced it, all of us have experienced it. Only thing that we need to be open, we should open up and realize that yes, Swami has sent someone, so Swami might have sent Hari to take care of my problem. But I'm thinking, right, yes, Hari is an instrument in doing this as such, but it doesn't mean that Swami is actually not there. Is Swami there? Is Swami going to go about listening to us? Swami does listen to prayer. I don't know how much time I have, Venkat.
You continue. I don't. We are being a Friday.
No.
We are all ears. So you speak what you have to speak. So there's absolutely no hardbound thing. Go on. Go.
No, you just give me a time. How many minutes should I take?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Right, Hari, how much time do you think I should take? Because I want to share some of my student
which is what I'm saying. Go on with what you feel like sharing. We are not time bound. It's a Friday.
Ashok,
yes.
if you want share, if you want to share today, you can share, or we can have one more session of separately. This because I don't want you to hurry and cut short everything. So to give everyone the time, if you feel one more session, we will talk about that. Certainly we would like to have like that. I personally, but you can talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Hari. There are many more people who would like to speak right on this platform, and everybody should speak.
Ashok, you know why I'm telling? Because I know when it is Swami, so much is there. So day, night won't be enough for, especially for, people who have a sort of heart is one with him. So we need to have that real time so that you express yourself not in a hurry. Not in a hurry.
Speak what comes to your mind. So that's it. So that we are not that time bound.
Okay. I got it. So I will just basically take another 10-15 minutes, if that is okay.
Yeah, please.
Very shortly, I will say a couple of incidents. I will not narrate the whole of my student days as such. Now, I will just tell you about my entry to as a Sai student, which is very interesting for me also when I think about it. So though I have told it on a number of platforms, it doesn't stop me from telling it here also. Now, it was in 1979 that one day there was this advertisement in Sanatan Sati, and then father had seen that Swami is going to go about starting one college in Prashnathi Nilayam and admissions are open. And father did mention to mother, that I would like, I was just finishing off my +2 intermediate, and then, so it was right time. So it's always a right time as far as Swami is concerned. So, so he told mother that I want him to study in Swami's college, and there's one opening in Puttaparthi. And then mother, in one afternoon, it was afternoon, I remember very clearly that afternoon, I was basically lying down with mother, and you know how it is when you're lying down with your mother, there's so many things happening. And then she lovingly says, your father told me something, and your father wants you to join Puttaparthi College. Swami is starting a Puttaparthi College. I said, okay. Because I never said no to my parents, because I said, say yes to them, and then let's see what happens. So first, don't say no, say yes. So yes. I was very sure, because I had some very, very well built structure of mind. I say Swami's college, because when I used to visit Puttaparthi very often there, Guru Purnima, Dasera, Diva, and when I was in school and then college. And then in my visits over there, I used to see this the students from Vrindavan and this Anantapur students. And this Vrindavan students would come white and white. And whenever I see them, they would walk with their head down all the time, looking at their chappal. And right, there's a talk which is there, so disciplined and so very neat. And they would how will I fit into that environment? And plus, there was this thing that there is no such thing as influence, right? Nobody can put influence to get a seat.
Correct.
Plus, you need to have a first class, and I'm never a first class student. So I had very beautiful structure to say that I will never get admission. So no problem. Why should I disappoint my parents? So let's go and to Puttaparthi. And I came along with my father to Puttaparthi. Now, when I know that father knows a lot of people, and a lot of people know Swami. I mean, my father, right from Kutumrao, Chiranjeevi Garu, Kutumrao Garu, Chiranjeevi Garu, and then the principal Amrendra. I didn't know there was one principal Amrendra, and Swami knew, my father knew him also, and because he went and met him before the interview. And then he knew the warden Nityanand Garu, and all the people he knew, and he met all of them. And he introduced me to everyone and said, "This is my son. He's going to join Swami's college." So the interview was fixed up, and I was very confident. A little bit this thing started coming in my mind. Swami, father knows all these people. Are things going to go against my plans? But anyway, I was confident on the fact that influence does not work here, right? Swami's this thing, no influence, only merit works. So I went to the interview, right to the interview. The interview was in Ishwaramba. And then as we entered the Ishwaramba gate, and there was one circle, Ishwaramba, this thing was the lotus or something was there in front of the building. And then here comes a jeep. Very fast, enters into the gate, and everybody is now becomes standstill, and everybody comes to an attention. So I and father also came to an attention. The jeep comes and stops exactly where we were standing. So the jeep at the side, this thing, I can visualize this beautiful movement. Yeah. So the side, there are no doors, right? And then Swami steps out just in front of father, and I was standing there. And then Swami always used to very lovingly say, Em Purushottam, Epudochina. My father's name is Purushottam. Epudochina. Swami, Ninna Vachinan Swami. Then he said, Enduko Swami Abbai, college, Swami College lo chairpistan. Then right, or as it is that we take Pad Namaskar. So father took Pad Namaskar. I have to follow what father does. So I also took Pad Namaskar. And then Swami said Bangaru. When I took Pad Namaskar, Swami said Bangaru. Then my heart skipped a bit. I said, looks like my chances are over. My plans are going for a toss, right? And I will be in, I don't know what. Anyway, so I was totally blank now. So because all the schemes and structures looked very blank, so I went to the interview room, and there were all my professors sitting over there. They were asking various questions, and there was this Anup Jalani. He asked me a question, and instead of saying yes, I said yeah. So in the normal city style, I said yeah. Then he looked at me and said, "Do you say yeah or do you say yes?" My God. I said, I apologize, and I said yes. Then, right, I thought, okay, this is a good chance. They think that I'm not a disciplined fellow. I may not get the admission over there. But then this incident in the interview room said, I was not now, all right, these people are very, very strict, because you cannot even by mistake also say yeah and all. So how am I going to fit into this? The evening, the list was announced. And in the list, right, since my alphabet, my name is Ashok Anand, it starts with A. So in the first names only, Ashok Anand's name was there. So all my structure and those plan all became pani. So it all went into a toss, water. Then Swami, obviously, father was very happy. He went and met the principal Amrendra at that time, and he thanked him. And then he came and met Nityanand Garu, and Nityanand Garu said, "Admission over, no, so let him join now only." Then I looked at father and I slowly pulled him and holded a hand and said, "Dad, um, I used to call him Daddy. I have no clothes." Then he took permission and to come and get the clothes to witness. So when Swami's grace is there and Swami wills, you pray whatever you want to. That will not work. If supposing it is not good for us, and he only knows what is good for us, he will not answer our prayer. So if now what I learned from that is, if there are certain prayers we make to Swami and that is not answered by Swami, it means that it is not good for us. So that means there is something else that he is going to give us. And what we are asking is not right for our welfare or for our own good. So he will not answer. So therefore, my brothers and sisters here, if Swami doesn't answer any prayers of ours, and it means that either he is delaying it or he will give it to us in an appropriate time, or he feels that it is not right for us and we will be not in the wrong, we will be taking the wrong path. It may cause harm to us. So therefore, he may not answer our prayers. I will just narrate one. I mean, there are many stories which will go on and right of my hostel days. But omniscient, all-knowing. I will share one experience of mine in this, and then I will conclude. It was probably in 1983 or so. I studied in Prashnathi Nilayam 1979 to 84, and right, Iraq is my classmate in PG, and UG Sai Sudnath was my classmate. Hari was my batchmate. I have to mention about Hari here, right? Let me finish this incident of mine, and then I'll come to Hari, because Hari and me share some other divine equation right, those days, from those days. So it was during this time, and it was holidays. I remember very well. I was on a fast. This was a Nitya fast, right? That means it was no. I mean, this is known only to me, not even to anyone else in the hostel or anyone. It was a Nitya fast, means a fast which will not end till Swami calls me and gives me prasadam. And this fast also includes not drinking water.
Oh my God.
So 1 day over, 2 days over, and right, by Swami's grace, everything is going on. And third day is also getting over. Then Swami calls, sends word, right, for me, and says there is some work in Swami's quarters. So Swami used to call some of us to do some service upstairs, right, which by Swami's grace I have done it a couple of times. He had called me, and this was one occasion he called me only, and he said, "Swami is calling. Swami wants you to come, and there's some work in the mandir." When I went over there, there was another brother who was there, and he was Dhruv Sachdeva. Dhruv Sachdeva, incidentally, is Tribhuvan Sachdeva's younger brother. So both of us were there. So both of us right, went, and then we were given an instruction. There was Swami's bathroom which was getting repaired. So tiles were put, and so we were supposed to hammer it and all. So we did for about half an hour or some very short period of time, I remember. And then Swami came, the darshan on all was over. Then one of the boys came and said, Swami is calling. Then we all came, and then Swami asked, "Have you done the work?" We said, "We've done the work." What work we have done, I don't know. We just asked us to hammer. We did a little bit of hammering. And then Swami gave apple. He gave an apple to me. He gave an apple to through also, both of us, obviously. But when he gave an apple to me, Tisko, Chalu, and he gave me Par Namaskar. So he said, Tisko, Chalu. Then I came out, and this is known only to me, right? So he's this omniscient who knows everything. He knows what is happening in the heart of a devotee. He knows what we want and what we are praying for. And then I came out and went into my own car, right, alone. And then, the bliss just overflew from me. And Swami said, "You didn't call us to do any work. You called me to break my fast for which I have taken. This Nitya, right, the fast what I have taken." So does Swami know? Who knew? Nobody knew. And I was a person who will never used to write letters to Swami. And my letters to Swami were very, very. I have written a few letters to Swami, and my letters to Swami was straight to Swami. How it used to be is, I used to write a letter and then go knock at the door, and our friends, door duty, our classmates used to be there, Iraq used to be there, or Ravi Shankar, or Santosh Pai, or Divakar. These people would be there over there. So we had this great privilege. These are some of the privileges or blessings. I would rather say blessings and grace that we students had in those days. I don't know subsequently how it was. But in those days, we could simply walk up to the mandir. Nobody would stop us. Go knock at the door and then hand over the letter and give it to Swami. Ari, all right, might have also done this. The letter immediately goes to Swami, because all of us, all our brothers only are there. So it will not stop. It will not wait and all. So we would go at a time in the afternoon, after around at 1:30, 2 o'clock is the time where Swami would come out of after lunch, a little rest, and he start reading the letters. So when he's starting reading the letters, at the time, if you give a letter, it will go about, he would read the letter. So immediately you give the letter, it will be read, and your whatever it has to be answered you would get a reply immediately also. Right? If it was to, I would write a letter to Swami only when I wanted a reply of certain things, and it would come. Right? The answer would come either to the warden or some of the boys. They would say, Swami has read the letter and he has smiled. That is an answer enough, because we will ask what happened, what did Swami do, and of course we would also get the reaction from it. So right, so this was our connect with Swami, both physically as well as divine. They say it's not that the Swami was, we are devotees, so therefore when we pray, our prayer was answered. So if I say, is Swami God? So I would lastly put this particular slide back. Let me share this. Is it visible, or I have to share it?
You have to share.
Yeah. Right. If supposing we say I would conclude my.
Just keep going back if you want to go back, or you're going to the end, is it? Okay.
This is the right. This is one slide I wanted to share. This is the Prashnathi Nilayam which we shared as students.
Yeah.
All golden sands. No, no shed, nothing. Devotees would sit, and we would sit in this veranda. Now, if you see this last picture at the bottom, this would be the number of students during the holidays. Only few of us would be there. Not going home was a privilege, because we would have total personal attention of Swami after he finishes off taking care of the devotees and all. So devotees are always first, then students would come later. So when he comes for darshan, Swami would always take care, first go to the devotees who would wait for his darshan, and then go about having the this. So this is what Swami would basically go about stating. In my conclusion, I would like to state, this is a quote that I am taking from the 60th birthday celebration, right, on 23rd November. Swami had given the delegates one booklet, and this booklet, this delegate pad, the file which was given to Father, and Father had given it to me. there is this beautiful, right, Swami's message. I'm reading this message. In this avatar, the wicked will not be destroyed. They will be corrected, reformed, and educated, and led back to the path from which they had strayed. So this is not the avatar of destroying like Rama, right, or Krishna, or Narasimha, where they had come to destroy the wicked. Right. So this is an avatar which will be corrected. They will be corrected, reformed, educated, led back to the path from which they had strayed. This avatar is for bhaktas, the aspirants, the sadhus, and the sadhakas only. It was no japa. It has no japa, dhyana, or yoga. It knows no worship. It will not pray to anything. This is Swami. It here is Swami. It has no japa, dhyana, or yoga. It knows no worship. It will not pray to anything, for it is the highest. That is Swami. It only teaches you to workshop. It is not worship. It is workshop. All right, worship. Please, right. I am emphasizing here. Say it only teaches you to worship and pray. That means this is an avatar, which is a different avatar. And if you see here, all right, I just like to go about this avatar has never taught us any sort of japa. This is the type, or any ritual that we need to practice, or any sort of a right, spiritual practices that one has to follow. All that has never been taught right by Swami for us. What Swami has basically said is work is worship, right? Love all, serve all. You see, the last summation is that's only. Love all, serve all. They say love and pray. So all that this I felt is very, very beautiful. Swami's saying so very relevant for all of us. That Swami is, that's why Swami is only reformed and educated. So his education is through the various discourses. I don't know whether, right, there is any record of the number of discourses that Swami has given. All right, he might have given, lakhs of discourses in his lifetime. And one discourse to another discourse is not same. There's never any similarity. Every time you listen to one discourse, there is something new that you're learning. There is another discourse, you'll learn something else. In fact, we go through the same discourse once more. There is another message. All right. So I always have this way of looking at it as such. Whenever I am in some sort of a dilemma or some answer, some question marks, I always open up some discourse of Swami, some book of Swami, and straight there is a message for us. There is the clear message which reaches us, talking about what, and it is addressed. It's like, I feel it's like being addressed to me and my problem, and then Swami is basically saying, okay, this is the answer that we would all go about getting as such. Okay, with this, thank you very much for having called me to this platform to share it. I think I have exceeded a little bit of my time or allotted time, but I am willing to take any questions any brother or sister has on this. Before I say anything I take up any questions, I would just like to share something about my relationship with Hari Hari. Now, my first impression of Hari Hari was my, right, we shared the room together. He was my opposite suitcase mate. Right. So there in the old mandir, before we shifted to the new hostel, we had no room were there, and then all of us would basically be suitcase mates. I always refer for the old mandir people as suitcase mates, because when I entered to the hostel over there, one brother, I think it was Sai Surnath, he showed me that is your place. And for a few seconds or a minute, I was looking at what place is he talking about. There was a gap near a window. He says, that would exactly fit my suitcase. So I would be staring at the door, and my Hari would be next to the door. So once you enter the door, on the left side is his suitcase. So me and him were opposite suitcase mates, not side by side suitcase mates. And I don't know how many of the brothers who have so much knowledge about Hari have heard about Hari, and know that Hari is one of the finest and the fantastic violin player.
My God.
I don't know if anyone of you, Venkat, do you know that he's a violin player?
You've seen the photos. I've not heard him play the violin.
Now, this is something that you need to do. Hari.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
his first beginning in the Prashnathi Mandir as a Sai student was playing the violin and not the harmonium.
Correct.
And his, right now, his this thing about harmonium, I mean, his thing about violin, because I used to share this, because I used to like this Hari. I don't know, I was this modern chap, very, very, I used to wear jeans. I used to wear jeans for the hostel also. I mean,
Correct.
also. Now I had that story is different. I cannot get into that part of it. So I used to wear jeans.
we should have a session of that separately.
So this Hari and me, I used to like this chap. Used to be there, least bothered about anything, absolutely carefree. Right? And college, whether it is classes, don't mind me telling all this, Hari, because that is what you are. And all right. And then we used to share some very personal times. And then I saw the violin, and I told him, Hari,
Play.
this violin is there, you have never played. I remember. Then he said, I'm not getting a chance to play. He said, if you play only, you'll get a chance. No. How will people know? Because he was very shy at that time. Please. Hari, the Hari that you see now, and the Hari then in 1979 is not the same. He was a shy. He had come from a village.
Correct.
This is the media.
Hari?
Pardon?
Your village Tiruvannamalai, right?
Thiruvananthapuram.
Tiruvananthapuram, I cannot, all the time I will ask him. This is 100 times I've asked him, I will say Tiruvannamalai and he will correct me. And he shared me, he told me about his mother. I mean, he stayed with his grandparents and how his grandparents were influential in him learning the music, right? And all those things. Actually, I have told Hari a couple of weeks back also that, Hari, it's time that Swami feels that you have to start playing the violin.
Sure.
Because it is Swami's this thing. And so many of these people who have enjoyed your singing, your harmonium play, I am not surprised that you have not played the violin, because you have stopped. You think that you cannot play, but there is nothing that Hari cannot do because Sai is there. So Hari is not doing, right? Hari is not going to do anything. Hari will do because Swami is willing to do.
You have now set up the Sunday Satsangh prelude. What is going to be there at 7:15? Sariyana, be prepared. 7:15, yeah, Sunday.
Yes, and Brother Hirok is there. Even today, we have some lovely fun times with all of us together whenever we meet, and then Swami is always there in our talk. And then we enjoy life the way we have enjoyed in our hostel days, and Swami, this thing is such. So it's a great pleasure that both of us, both Hari and Hirok is there, and it's such a pleasure seeing all of them here. So with these words, I would like to thank Swami for giving me the opportunity of sharing these experiences of devotees, because I wanted to share the devotees' experience of Sai. And thank you very much. And lastly, I would like to pay tribute to my father, my mother, and my brother, whose blessings are been on us, and that is with their blessings only we were being able to be in close proximity to Swami. All of us have been enjoyed the grace of Swami just because of them. So my prayers to them also, and my humble pranams to Bhagwan Baba and our dear Swami to bless us all always, that he always takes care of us, continue to grace us and help us and guide us to be in his path all the time. Jai Sai Ram.
Thank you.
Kaka, this is Balu. Kaka, this is Balu. I just wanted to take the opportunity to show the ring that you were talking all about.
Okay.
Just give me a moment so that everybody
Yeah.
can have a darshan of that.
Yes. This is my nephew and my sister-in-law. And right, both of them have actually been named. This is the ring of my brother. Swami had given. You can see the Baba's ring over there.
You put it.
Yeah, why don't you, brother, just speak so you will come fully on the screen.
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
speaking right now.
Yeah.
This is the one. I in fact remember one of Dad narrating one of the Leelas about this ring. Apart from what Kaka mentioned, that he would blow it and even change it to cities-wise group as well. Then change it. Niku Muslaina istam kada. And he would change it, and he would toy around with Dad by changing the shape of this ring into whenever he wanted to Shirdi Shai and again back to this. But this is the ring that Kaka mentioned.
Wow, lovely.
Oh,
Yeah, I just thought would show
Incidentally, this is the house. This is the flat on which the building is standing, where Swami has also laid the foundation stone, right? Swami's foundation stone. See, I tell you, this is how Swami works. I'm mentioning, and then this is Swami's will to have the darshan of what Swami's materialization is. Here's my right nephew showing his name. He also has been named by Swami only. His name is Sai Harsha. His elder brother Sai Kaushal is named by him. And Sai Kaushal, since it's mentioned, I don't know if this time will continue. I just have to mention, Swami gave him a locket. And he named him as Sai Kaushal, right? Sai Kaushal is Rama. And you would very rarely see Rama's medallion being created by Swami. Swami gave him a Rama's medallion, right? He's basically given Ram Parivar medallion to him, such. Okay. So, in fact, all our children are being named by Swami, right? Swami is being gracious enough to shower so much of love on our families.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions anybody has got, so they can ask me if there is. Thank you, Balu, for sharing the Swami's ring.
Thank you.
And now, if anyone has got questions, do type. I'll read it out. It makes it easier. Or if you feel like asking something, please go ahead, unmute yourself and speak. That's the easiest way.
I think, yeah.
If there are none, Haryana, would you like to say a few closing remarks? I should thank you, brother. It's been amazing to have you. And I understand he's been with us for a few satsangs now already. We didn't see that name there, but ever since we heard you you were on the session where you spoke about sports. I think we didn't touch sports at all today. You were instrumental.
I didn't speak anything about my student life. Because I wanted to speak to the devotees about devotees' experiences. Because most of them are under the belief that, actually I was sharing this with Venkat, right? This thought came to me because I was listening to Hirok talk in Chennai, and I think one of the devotees asked, how can I experience your experiences with Swami? I think Hirok, that was the question. So it is not, so I thought that everyone has got their own experience. Hirok gave a lovely answer to that, if I remember rightly. Am I right, Hirok?
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
right. So, by the way, Ashok, I spoke in Tamil, you know that, no?
Yeah, that's a lovely one. That's the love of that's how we have our own sessions. I was just saying that we always joke and have fun. Right? Thanks to the Singapore platform, which is so loving as a family. We can just share anything, and so lovingly everybody is standing.
And just for all of you who have joined today, I will keep sharing the links to Brother Ashok. You're most welcome.
Yeah.
This continues every Friday and Sunday, at least for this month. Maybe from next month it will move to a Sunday because work is resuming back. We don't mind having it on Friday as long as there are people to listen to it. Do join us. We can take up to 100 people on the live platform. We don't reach capacity most times, so we would be happy to have anyone listening in. So it's not a restrictive satsang, it's an inclusive satsang, as many as possible. Restricted mainly by Zoom accommodating 100 people in the call maximum with what we have. So most welcome to share and let more partake in this wonderful satsang experience. Haryana, a few words from you, please.
Hira wants to say anything, or shall I go ahead?
Whoever.
No, Hari, you speak, please.
Okay. Sairam to all of you. Ashok, I think you are really a professor. You brought all the points so fantastic, with so much heart to heart, so much practical, so much we all can take it with lots of understanding. You brought so fantastic point from beginning. And the greatest thing today, always I feel, me, Hira, Kote, Sonam, Ashok, Jagdish Rajan, Tribhuvan Sithe, all of us were there. But devotees, you all have been listening to brothers and sisters, listening to every student. If you see, every student, Swami has given that type of experience, a different way. That itself can say the power of Swami, that he has approached every individual to their capacity and then lifted them up to his level. So this is the beauty of all these satsang. What I find when Hira talks, his experience one style, Sonam different style, Kote different, Sai Sarana different, Jagdish Rajan, all of us. But if you see, Swami has given for each one of us so much time, which is just unimaginable, unbelievable as a human hours if we calculate. Because he is God, he could give that experience side by side to everyone at one time. And Ashok, the subject what I liked most was that devotee. Because we may be students, but we are devotees. And that was the best subject. And you are blessed from such a family, your father, your brother, your whole family. When I listen to this, I think, every time it is Karnamritam for me from every one of you. I can be only grateful to every one of you. And Swami should bless all of us, Singapore brothers, the whole world. And Ashokji, you, your family, Hira, and all our students, fraternity in the whole world. Swami should keep us like this in oneness with him. Jai Saram. Thank you.
Sairam.
Sairam, everyone. We'll finish with 21 Samastalokas. Just to remind everybody, Sunday Satsang will be with Brother Aruno's brother, Brother Arul Selvanathan. This will be at 7:30 Singapore time, 5 o'clock India time. For those who have joined today, Haryana, you wanted to say something?
Ashok will come again, once again around.
Yes, definitely the sports and the kitchen, very important. The kitchen reminds me of Hyderabad youth, so we definitely have to see where is the preceding thing in the hostel, right? So we will have a session separately on that. This Sunday is going to be Brother Arul Selvanathan at 7:30 Singapore time. For those who have joined today, I'll share the links of that satsang with Brother Ashok. Any of you are interested, please do join us. We'll be happy to have you with us. We'll finish with 21 Samasta Lokas. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you, Brother Ashok. Thank you again. Thank you, Swami. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki Jai. Sai Ram, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram.